Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Be vibrant today with Dr. V, and we are so excited to be doing just that. Yes, she's joining us here today, Dr. Valencia Moses, joining us here to talk more about her coaching and how she can really help you in so many different ways. So, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh my gosh. I think I'm ecstatic. I think that's a good word.
Well, we are excited to have you here. Hailing from beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio, tell us a little bit about your company, Vibrant Coaching.
Yes. So my company started in 2019 because I experienced, I like to say, breakthrough after experiencing the Clifton Strengths Assessment. I was in a class being led by a nonprofit where we were going over our Clifton Strengths report, more commonly known as Strengths Finder. And I just had this idea that wouldn't go away, that what I experienced, I wanted to help others experience. So, Vibrant Coaching provides encouraging accountability for individuals or teams to move from where they are to where they want to be through a variety of ways. But I am a Gallup certified strengths coach. So, that's one of the tools that I like to use to help people navigate uncertainty and overcome challenges. So, I love being able to work with clients to help them increase their confidence
Mm-hmm.
and really have more clarity. I have a client who says that I do really well helping with sorting through thoughts. And I was like, hey, that's good. Can I use that? And it's my happy place to strategize with people and help them to figure out their best next steps.
Beautiful. So we're talking everything here. Your customized coaching packages, right? That include, as you mentioned, the Clifton Strengths Assessment, more commonly known as Strength Finders. I want to know more about that because people may not be familiar with it. I've heard of it, but it helps you increase your confidence, obtain success, navigate uncertainty in a sense. Could you just share specifically how that process works and what it really is?
Yes. So Gallup is this global research organization, and they are now the owners of the Clifton Strengths Assessment. So it was developed over 4 decades ago by a man named Dr. Donald O. Clifton, and
Okay.
he's considered the father of strengths based psychology. So, what I love about this assessment is that it's rooted in what's right with you and what do you do well. So when you have that kind of data, for lack of a better word, on yourself, it helps you to get language that you
Okay.
can then like appreciate, own, and aim in the direction of the change that you want to see in your life.
Yes. Oh well, we're excited to talk more about the work you're doing, and I love how you mentioned feeling exhausted, being busy. Explain this concept. I was reading over your notes before I was laughing because I'm that one. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. Explain that to
Yes,
us.
yes. I'm a huge fan of helping people break up with busy. Busy is not a badge of honor. That's how you get to a place where you're burnt out. And I believe thriving is what we were made to do, and it's possible. So I love to talk with people and help them to figure out why they feel so much pressure, so much stress. And this is the perfect time to say I am not a counselor. I'm a huge advocate for all things mental health, but sometimes just processing with people, hearing about what's on their plate, and helping them to decide what boundaries to put in place to
Mm-hmm.
protect themselves. So I'm all about promoting well being.
Perfect. And you mentioned now, as far as location, I know you're in Cincinnati, but you work with people all over. You could do this work coaching virtually, right?
Oh, yes. In fact, most of my work is done over the phone. I kick it old school. We have a
Ah,
lot of Zoom meetings in our lives. I had one client and she was in Spain. So we met over Zoom, but most people are cool with the phone call. And I
mm-hmm.
really do that too because it fits with our lives. So, things happen, and sometimes it's easier to take a phone call or work that into your day. versus sometimes when you want to be at your best over Zoom, you kind of need to be stationary.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Well, let's talk more. About you. It's fine. Good to find out more about where you came from, what brought you here, and of course, your education. I think it's important for us to know you, Dr. V, as a person before you
Yeah.
become our coach. So tell us about you.
Oh my goodness. So I'm originally from Arkansas. I'm from the part of the state that's right above Louisiana, really close to Mississippi. I am from a family of educators. And it's funny that I originally wanted to be a pediatrician, be a medical doctor. And at some point in college, I realized that, let's say I would have become a pediatrician, fallen in love with the babies, with the kids, they get what they need and then they're gone out of my life. And I realized that does
Oh.
not work for me. I like
Mm-hmm.
sustain interaction with people over
Yeah.
time. So education was the better fit, and just gone from state to state. At first, because of education reasons, I was able to earn like money for college, so I kept going. I am a nerd. I gather information to share it with people, and as I kept going, I realized that my favorite thing to do is to have conversations with people. Like, this should have been my clue, like way
Mm-hmm.
earlier than I started my business. But when I'm having a hard day, I call people to hear about their day. That should have been a clue that coaching would be a really good fit for me. But I learned a lot in working with my students that before it was trendy, resilience, motivation, those are the
Mm-hmm.
things I was encouraging in people. And I had
Yeah.
some really powerful experiences with students that kind of helped me realize, like, wait, I think there's something else that I can do to like help people,
Yeah.
and help them to be better on purpose.
Oh, I love it. I love it. By the way, I got to point out, I was reading some great reviews before I spoke to you, and it's important to listen. Look, you have, okay, Samantha, one of the most gifted coaches around. Dr. Moses has an infectious passion for people that is unmatched. Her ability to pull out one's strengths is truly a gift from God and has truly been a blessing. I highly recommend her. Someone named Jill, like myself, says Dr. B is intelligent, has a very intelligent yet down to earth approach to her coaching. She is obviously super knowledgeable and presents her information in a charming way that's interesting, feels attainable, and not intimidating. I want to sign up my family after participating in just one session. And there's more great positive reviews like that on your site, which is amazing. Again, we want to also talk more about life coaching in general. Tell me some of the areas you're going to help people with, and if you don't mind sharing some client experience, I think that's important as well.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. So, some of the biggest things we talked about, busy not being a badge of honor. I've noticed that people through coaching can get to a place where they are able to see themselves as the leader that they are.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that all of us are influential people. And that's one way of defining leadership is the level of influence that you have.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things that gets uncovered through coaching are competing success models. I was at an event and someone said that. I wrote it down and I saved it for today. But sometimes people can have a definition of success that is external to them, meaning they're trying to go for some way of being successful that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fit with who they are. And once people discover that, I'm able to work with them to help them craft their definition of success so they can go
Wow.
after that and have a more fulfilling, meaningful life.
Amazing. And by the way, just curious age range of the people that you can coach.
Yeah. I've learned that 21 and up is preferred. I have
Okay.
worked with high school students,
Okay.
but their world is definitely still forming. And a big part of college for those who pursue college is to help you figure out there's a big world out there. I do work with college students, but I tend to get hired or contracted with colleges and universities to work with students.
Mm-hmm.
So I really believe it's important for people to go through coaching when they're ready. And I've
Got it.
talked a lot about individual coaching, but I also work with organizations, especially nonprofits, with team cohesion, communication, increasing efficiency, productivity. So I wanted to mention that. But even then, let's say the CEO or a VP of talent and engagement, they know their people, and you just need to have that buy-in, that
Yeah.
want to go through coaching. And again, even though I'm not a counselor, sometimes I've worked with people and they realize something after going through their Clifton Strengths assessment in our conversation.
Yeah.
And depending on how big of a deal it is, I'll recommend, hey, if you don't have a person, you should get, a person, you should get a therapist, a counselor to talk about that. And I'll give a quick example. I was working with someone who's a social worker by training, and she had something in her Clifton Strengths report that was tied to, let's say, emotional intelligence. And she realized during our sessions that she had been suppressing her emotions most of her life.
Oh,
Even though that's a huge part, being able to express herself is a huge part of who she is. So that is like a huge deal. That's one of those breakthrough moments.
mm-hmm.
And because of who she was, I highly encourage, like, hey, this is something you need to talk about, because a superficial way I like to describe the difference between coaching and counseling is that coaching has a lot to do with who you are, what's going on in your life now, and how you can get to the future that you want to see or create. Counseling, in a lot of ways, deals with roots from your past, how they're showing up in the present and
Mm-hmm.
hindering your ability to be at your best now and or.
Wow.
So that's why coaching and counseling is such a good combination for people who are able to have that in their lives. But I mean, I'm just a huge fan of people getting all the support they need to
And I know you really
get to their
also
dreams. Yeah.
importantly that it provides accountability, right?
Yes, yes. I have two clients that, in fact, I should say three, that's what we do. We call them strategic check-ins. So
Mm-hmm.
once a month, we have conversations, because one is a global VP, another one is a national president of an organization, and then one of my most recent clients, she's a entrepreneur, when she is not working what we like to call the W
Yeah.
2 job. And so when you have a lot on your plate, again, going back to one of my superpowers is helping people sort through
Mm-hmm.
what they say is important to them. And I call it encouraging accountability, because I find out, is that something you want me to ask you about or check
Yeah.
in with you with?
Yeah.
Because if people say something is important to them,
Yeah.
I want to make sure it happens for them.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, also, let's remind everyone how we can reach you again. Tell us all forms of contact.
All right. Well, my website is bevibrant.today. So, Flashback Friday, I'll start it off with the www. I'm old enough to remember,
Mm-hmm.
oh, wow, when the internet was a lot younger. But
Yeah.
yes, bevibrant.today. And that's also my handle for Facebook, Instagram, and on LinkedIn, I am Vibrant Valencia. So
Okay.
kind of keep that theme of vibrant going.
We love it. We love it. We love it. All right. Awesome. Let's see. There's so much more to you, to your company. We got lots of notes here to go through as well. And in particular, I was reading before the show. Where is it? I'm sorry, I lost it. I was going to ask you about this mindset.
Yes.
You talk a lot about mindset in your notes, right? And can
Mhm.
we talk about positive mindset, and then sometimes we get into unfortunate mindset, shall I say, right, where sometimes things can go a little wrong in a sense that hinder our mindsets, right, and hinder us from living that best life. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the most common mindsets maybe that can hinder people from a vibrant type of life?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So one of the things that, I deal with every now and then as well that happens is just thinking that you need to wait for things to be perfect and trying to get things in order versus giving yourself grace to grow. So, realizing that whenever you start something new or you're making a transition, how you think about it, the self talk you have with yourself really matters. So, I work with people, and depending on whether or not they say yes to the Clifton Strengths Assessment, there can be things that come out in the report that help me to know, okay, this person loves to do blockbuster quality productions. Just they have a vision for excellence. They can know how great it can be. And then my advice becomes, and I say this to myself often, start by starting. Like once you get going, you'll see it, you'll get ideas, you can make it better. um so that's something that I've learned can really hinder people from moving forward. Also comparison, thinking other people just naturally have it, but we have to remember that people are putting forth effort. Everybody has a team. We may not see their team, and they may not like let you know that they have one, but people rarely succeed on their own with no help. Yet that's a mindset that people can have, like, oh, they're just so good, it comes so easy to them. And I like to share this. Way back, maybe even before Instagram, there was someone who would have incredible selfies. Okay, let's say, on one of the platforms, and it was like, yeah, when I take selfies, they don't turn out like that. Turned out this person was taking over 80 photos of themselves and picking the best one. I would take like 3 or 4, and it's like that's good enough.
That's a lot. Yes, that's a lot.
So we don't know all the times the process behind the outcome that we see. And because of the impact of social media, we see people's highlight reels. We
Mm-hmm.
see the best of what they're putting out there.
Always. Yeah.
But as humans, part of our ability to learn and be powerful people,
Yeah.
we will make mistakes. We'll figure out, oh, that's not how to do it. I would rather do something different next time. And again, helping people to be kind to themselves as they're navigating changes.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for shedding light on that concept as well. Little things we could start doing at home to increase our mindset. Any examples that you could share?
Yes, I want to pick up with what I was saying about being kind to yourself, especially when you're going through something new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Letting yourself know that you are a learner and you can improve, you can tailor the experience that you want to have. Another thing that people can do is make sure you have supportive people in your space.
Yeah.
There are people who believe in you, and sometimes we forget or we'll push it to side. So when someone compliments you, or maybe you do something and you're like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
I'm so
Mm-hmm.
glad this happened, celebrate. Celebrate yourself, find those rewards. I have a client who has figured out that when she reaches certain goals, she's going to go here and do this. Whether it's as small as your favorite cup of tea or coffee from a neighborhood spot, or a bigger chain, like, those little things are important to helping us to keep the momentum going. So
Mm-hmm.
really big on being kind to yourself, having a circle of support, and also let other people know what you're doing. So, document it, not necessarily for the likes and follows, although although those are nice when it happens,
Yeah.
but document it so that you have a record. And
Yeah.
that also helps other people to be there to celebrate your success with you.
True. All right. Thank you so much. Wow. We still have, gosh, 6 minutes left in our show. So much to you, Dr. V at Vibrant Coaching. And just by the way, if someone is interested in your services, do you offer an initial free consultation to someone?
Yes. So when people go to my website, bevibrant.today, they can complete a contact form. And that helps me to know what from my website or what about coaching they're interested in. And then that helps me to better prepare for the consultation that we can have to explore what kind of coaching would be best for the individual or, the company, if that's the case.
Awesome. Good to know. Also, just pointing out here, we're excited to talk to Dr. V here from Vibrant Coaching. And you say you started because of a breakthrough. You experienced knowing your own and owning your strengths, and you want to help others. Could you
Mhm.
share a little about, did you ever go through some struggle? Did you ever have a coach as well?
Well, I've had a few like people throughout my life. I had teachers that were always really encouraging, and so that helped. My mom is incredible as an influence, and I think I struggled with comparison for a lot of years, and one way to think of a comparison is that comparison is a thief of joy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm big on making sure I'm enjoying life and having joy in my life. I love to laugh, so that's something I like to make sure happens every day. But I found myself comparing my progress, even like, just how it was showing up to other people. And that goes back to that growth mindset. I realized I had a fixed mindset in
Yeah.
a lot of ways that I didn't fully understand until I was an adult. And when we're constantly looking at other people, it just subtracts from our ability to focus on ourselves and appreciate what we're bringing to the table. So when I experienced the Clifton Strengths Assessment, it was probably for the third time. Because I'm a nerd, I just like assessments and I had probably taken it. But this third time, it just helped me to realize just because my strengths are showing up in a particular way and don't look like, some other people in my life, I still have accomplished things and get things done. They just get done in a way that fits with who I am, and
Mm-hmm.
being able to recognize that and celebrate it. So knowing my strengths helped me to know myself better, and that impacts how I show up. So when I found out that strategic is number one for me, it helped me to be more strategic on purpose, to lean into that. Another one of my strengths is coming up with ideas. So I
Mm-hmm.
budget time to think, and that's something that I never would have done
Yeah.
because I need that thinking time in
Mm-hmm.
order to kind of dream and plan and process. So when I got a better sense of who I am, what I like about myself, what I naturally do well, that's why my company's catchphrase is be the best you on purpose. It helped me to be the best version of myself on purpose. So being intentional is so powerful to helping us to achieve whatever matters to us, whether that's something big like going after a new position, a promotion, or being able to enjoy retirement. Some of my most powerful experiences are with clients who are on the verge of retiring, and they realize they poured so much into work that it's like, oh my gosh, who am I and what am I going to do
Yeah.
when I don't have to, go to work every day? So helping people to just reconnect with who they are, almost like their core self,
Yeah.
is really why I love what I do. I love coaching people and just being an extra person in their corner.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. And we have just 2 minutes left on the clock. What else do you want those to know about Vibrant Coaching and why they should reach out to you? Clearly, you are just, there's great testimonials, great reviews. You have a consistency. You show, you put the work in. And maybe just a question on my part, if you don't mind. If someone's curious about coaching, how does it really work? You do the initial assessment, the consultation, and then how often do you commit? Because it is that accountability process. It might be different for everyone, but give me an example. Do you offer a 3-month program, 6 months? How do you know what's good for you?
Oh, wow. So this might be shocking, but I ask for starting with 4 or 5 sessions that fits with the rhythm of people's life. So I have some clients, we talk twice a month, some once a month. And that's part of the consultation, finding out, okay, you're interested in coaching, but what can your life handle? And that's the pace at which we want to meet. And then after those 4 or 5 sessions, we can continue because I'm big on when there's breakthrough in progress, I celebrate that with you, and you can always come back. Like I have a client that I get to talk with tomorrow who's coming back after 6 months of being out there and succeeding.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. And let me also remind everyone, I'll have you the website, best form of contact again, please.
Yes, it's bevibrant.today, and those are also my handles on Facebook and Instagram. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Valencia Moses, PhD, also Vibrant Valencia in that space.
Perfect. And again, you're offering also those Gallup certified strengths coaching, using all of your background to provide encouraging coaching to businesses, individuals, anyone out there listening, 21 and older. There is a way to change your life. And by the way, can coaching help with past life trauma too?
Oh, it can help with everything. And that's one of those things like that I would really partner with someone who also has a counselor, because you want to be able to get all the help that you need so that you can thrive.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. You have a fantastic day, and pleasure getting to know you here on your series, and looking forward to the next time we speak again, Dr. V.
All right. Until next time, here's to your ability to be vibrant today.
Beautiful. Sounds great. Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.